lion. There, you can see it in the corner.
There's a car there.
Yeah, but I mean... Okay, well, we're going to send you away while we get into position here, and we'll see you a bit later. Yes, we've got into a better spot now. Not that it's the best spot, because he's not facing us, but he is just south of our southern boundary. This big Birmingham male, I'm not sure which individual it is. Maybe you guys can help identify it, please. Now, just to clear up a little statement that I said earlier, just so that everyone's fully in the loop and understanding what I meant by us possibly moving from the Sabi Sands, is that essentially we've got a very small traverse here at the moment of about just over 1,500 hectares, and in the Sabi Sands, in my opinion, you need at least about 6,000 hectares as a minimum to be able to get about and be able to follow a pride of lion and or have multiple leopards that you can go to and actually be able to deliver a good safari. So it's a little bit limiting our size at the moment, and what I said was that if we cannot manage to negotiate any better plans and to get more land here, it may make more sense for us to go elsewhere. And of course that will be sad because the Sabi Sands is incredible, but it is important to remember that there are many wonderful wilderness destinations in Africa, and if there is another spot that allows us to do our job better and take you on better safaris, well then I think it's definitely worth looking into exploring that avenue. So that is the reality. It's not like it's imminent, but I just think it is important to know that there could be some change and we may head off elsewhere to an area where we've got more land to explore, and it definitely will allow us to do a better job and take you on better safaris. So there's no plans for that to happen at the moment. It's just in the future it could happen. Hope that helps. Now, I'm wondering what to do here because it is a nice cloudy day. Nice and cool. I don't think he's necessarily going to be seeking any shelter or shade. There's multiple little waterholes where he's come from, so I don't think he's necessarily going to come across to Twin Dams, which is where we are. He may come closer towards us, hopefully for a drink. Who knows? We're going to stick around there for a few more minutes and send you across to Tristan to see what he's getting up to now.
Well, what we're doing is we're just busy sort of ambling about at the moment, just seeing what else is around and seeing what else we can find. And so I'm thinking about heading up towards Hyena Den. Apparently there was nothing really there this morning, but we're going to try and head that way. But before I went in that direction, what I wanted to do was just come past Treehouse and then go around Shabamu, the new road, and check up our western boundary in case that new leopard is somewhere around. So that new male, you never know, maybe he's in that area. Feels like a good day to go and look for him. I feel like with this weather that we've had, maybe there's a successful number of cats out here that have killed things, and so it's worth just going up that way and having a little look around. I might be wrong and we might get nothing at all, but it is definitely worth it. What is quite a shock is that I haven't actually spent any time at Treehouse Dam recently, and certainly haven't paid any attention when I've driven here, but it is really getting very low. I didn't even notice it the other day, but I can see now that this is really starting to shrink quite quickly. And you would think, being in summer, that I would be saying the opposite, that there would be water sort of, filling up and these dams would be getting bigger, but they're not. They're actually getting smaller by the day. And this little section that we have very close to me, which is down at the bankside, and if you follow that shoreline coming along, Ferg, and then you come down to where I am, you'll see there's a fallen over tree. Now, I remember watching Hosanna maybe 6 weeks ago, drinking from between where that fallen over tree is. So a little bit to the left there, you see that there's two fallen over trees. One faces to the left, one faces to the right, and he drank between that area. Please excuse the pole from the roof, but he drank there. So you can see how much that water is decreased, and that he wouldn't be able to drink there at all now. He would have had to have done a different route round. So absolutely different, and looks like it's still drying, and the rain that we're having now, even though it's wetting the ground, is really not going to fill up any dams. This is just good for growth of plants. It's not great sort of filling weather, if we want to call it that. Also, interestingly enough, in some of that elephant dung, a little bit further, I think, to the right there, you can see that there are some fungi and that are growing out of the dung by the looks of things. There's some white stuff in there. So which fungus it is, I'm not 100% sure. It's very far away, but very cool to see. Right, while I contemplate fungus and elephant poop and all things like that, let's rather go to a much prettier scene of Scotty D with the beautiful Birmingham Boy.
Well, not the most beautiful scene, but it is a scene nonetheless. We're having to snipe a view of him from a distance. But what we wanted to show you is that he's limping quite badly. And this, I'm fairly certain, is Nsuku, who was one of the two males that we were spending time with yesterday evening. I'm just going to turn the vehicle. It looks like we're in luck. It appears he's coming on to Djuma, which means we should be able to get you some good views. Let's just creep up ahead a little bit. Fairly certain it's not Intino that has limp. And Tristan's not too sure how it got that injury, but it could have been hunting buffalo. They had a buffalo kill quite recently, I'm told. Seen nonetheless. We're having to snipe a view of him from a distance. But what we wanted to show you is that he's limping quite badly. And this, I'm fairly certain, is Nsuku, who was one of the two males that we were spending time with yesterday evening. I'm just going to turn the vehicle. It looks like we're in luck. It appears he's coming on to Djuma, which means we should be able to get you some good views. Let's just creep up ahead a little bit. Fairly certain it's not Intino that has limp. And Tristan's not too sure how it got that injury, but it could have been hunting buffalo. They had a buffalo kill quite recently, I'm told. And what is it that's got his attention? Has he heard something? There are some waterbuck up ahead of us. We're not going to be able to show them to you because our rain flap's in the way. But I'm guessing that maybe he's heard another male lion or something's at least caught his attention. Let's keep moving forward and try and get you some more views. Keep coming onto our side, buddy. I think we're just going to have to close to the Mulwati riverbed, which is just up ahead of us, and hope that he continues towards us. I'm just worried because there's quite a few vehicles in the sighting, so I don't want to overcomplicate the matter. There are only supposed to be 3 vehicles per sighting, but I think there's a few more now because of the fact that we are on a bit of a boundary. It's hard to control the sightings. And Oregon, no, we don't have any idea how he got the limp. Tristan seems to think maybe it was while they were hunting buffalo. They made a buffalo kill fairly recently. So not entirely sure, but now at least we will be able to get you some views of him. I think a pole might sadly be right in the middle of our view, but he's thankfully coming onto Djuma, which means we should be able to get some wonderful views of him. I think we just need to wait here, though. Let me move forward a tiny bit. Actually swing a little bit this way. There we go. I'm actually going to move out of this sighting, guys. There's so many vehicles here, and I don't really want to be involved in this mess. So we will leave them be and hope that he comes onto our property and try and show these guys. Try and lead by example, possibly, because guys are making some foolish decisions, I believe. And while we wait patiently, we will send you across to Tristan.